There were a lot of great college basketball teams on display this weekend. The weekend after Thanksgiving, there's usually a ton of preseason tournaments where we see a lot of top teams go at each other. The Phil Knight Invitational and the Phil Knight Legacy Tournament were no different. However, today I'm here to talk about a team that's not really getting a lot of recognition that people should be watching out for. A mid major team that nobody wants to play right now, and I think that was made perfectly clear at the Phil Knight Invitational this past weekend. I'm talking about the Portland Pilots, the team from the WCC that was hosting this tournament. They put on a show this weekend at the PK85. Let's talk about this Pilots team. They're 5-4 overall. This past weekend, they lost to number one ranked North Carolina by 8 at the PK85. They beat Villanova by 12. Villanova's been struggling a little bit, but they're still a very talented basketball team. And then Portland lost a heartbreaker to number 12 Michigan State by 1 point in a game which they were down 11 with less than 90 seconds to go, and they came back with a shot at the buzzer to win and could not get it to go. Heartbreaker for this Portland team, but although they came away 1-2, this team is dangerous, and people need to watch out for them. Nobody wants to play this Pilots team right now. Currently, they're the 103rd ranked team according to Ken Palm. This will likely be on the rise as their schedule starts to get a little bit easier in the coming weeks. They're going to pile up some wins, I think, in the next coming weeks. Also, the Pilots already have one of the worst luck ratings in college basketball, which, if you don't know what that is, it's essentially an average of luck-based things in college basketball, including shots, free throw percentage, things like that would add up to be lucky, especially in close games. The Pilots have one of the worst in college basketball right now. So what does this team do well? Well, the Pilots do what most good mid-major schools do well. They move the ball and they hit the three. They're hitting 38% of their threes right now, which is absolutely incredible. That is one of the top ranks in the entire country. They're led by Tyler Robertson, who is a legit triple-double threat every time he steps out on the court. You can't say that about many people in college basketball. He has been incredible thus far to start the year. Now, what do the Pilots not do well? This is kind of the flip side of things. They don't defend well, at least against Power 5 schools. They're pretty small. Their biggest starter that they play is only 6'8", which makes things tough. They are switchable, which is going to be really, really important come conference play when they play smaller schools for the most part, obviously besides Gonzaga and the West Coast Conference. However, they are not good defensively. 179th thus far in defensive efficiency, according to Ken Palm. That is not good. That is not good. That is a little worse than half. Actually, a little better than half, I believe, of all of the teams in the country. That's not going to cut it if you're going to be an NCAA tournament team, which I think this team is. Now, before we look at the Pilots' outlook for the rest of the season, please, if you haven't already, subscribe down below. I appreciate everything that you guys do for the channel. It will really help out if you subscribe down below to get more content just like this one. Now, back into it. Looking at this team's outlook for the rest of the season, they were picked 5th in the WCC preseason poll, which clearly is, I think, a little bit of a mistake. If this team can continue to play like they have thus far and move the ball and hit the three ball, they are going to be a good basketball team and a tough out every single night. Obviously, they're not better than Gonzaga, and they're likely not better than St. Mary's because the Gales are always tough in the WCC. However, they were picked to finish behind BYU and San Francisco, two teams who had good years last year and who have been a little better historically than Portland. However, I think they could surprise some people. I think the Pilots could slide into maybe 3rd or 4th in the West Coast Conference by the end of the year, and they could be a borderline NCAA tournament team barring what goes on in some major conferences, maybe like the Pac-12, how many teams are they going to get right now? It's a mess over there in the Pac-12. So we shall see. No one wants to play this team right now. The Pilots are dangerous. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. They could be an absolute sleeper as a mid-major from the WCC. Watch out for Portland. They are going to be dangerous. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate all of the love and support you guys have for me in this channel. If you haven't, subscribe down below if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching. You've been watching College Hoops Tonight, and I will see you next time.